today is March 22nd, 2026. I'm going to try something new. My friend Amy does daily live streams of what she's doing to build the thing that she's building right now. And I have wanted to provide regular updates about what I have been building. I'm not sure if I can actually pull the trigger on live stream, but I am going to attempt to do a video. So as you can see on my screen, and hopefully this works because it's my first attempt at this, I have created a new community. I sunsetted my coaching program in December, and in January, I launched the Gratitude Geek Lab, which is a community centered around the Gratitude Geek podcast that does all the things that I've been doing for years, but in one centralized location around the theme of the podcast. So every Sunday, an email goes out to the members of the lab that says what's coming up, the events that are coming up for the week. So this week we've got co-working on Monday and open networking for all members on Wednesday. And then a little bit about the conversations that are going on inside the lab, and then the events that were last week. So that's the email that goes out every Sunday. And I wanted to share that just in case you are a lab member and you aren't getting those emails, make sure they're not in your spam folder. Okay, so what's going on in the lab? Now, I just started building this in January, and I'm already making tweaks to it. I'm using a platform called Heartbeat. Heartbeat is like Circle. It's like Mighty Networks. It's kind of like School. What I like about Heartbeat is that it truly is community focused first, not courses. The courses is a feature, but it's not the focus. The focus is on community building. It's a heartbeat, right? When you think about the heartbeat of a community, it's the members. So it's member focused. So I have been playing around with how to use Heartbeat. I am building something brand new, but I'm using everything I've been doing for the last 10 years as the foundation. I couldn't sleep last night. So this page I created last night at 2:00 in the morning, right? I've discovered that a lot of the things that I talk about when I am doing group coaching or presenting or workshopping is copywriting. Even though I'm not a copywriter, I think that writing is really important. So last night I created a copywriting document within the lab, and I also added a 9-part series called Mastering Marketing that I did a couple years ago to the lab. So if you belong to the lab currently, the Mastering Marketing and the copywriting, neither of those were in the library, which is where the quote unquote courses and replays are. I don't like them. I don't like the way I have the library set up. I don't like it because they're courses, and I don't think that replays should be courses. So I will be moving some of the stuff that's here inside the library, which is the courses, the classroom. I will be moving that to the resources and probably renaming resources library. I'll just give you a quick peek at what's inside. So here is the replay from the introduction workshop to this Mastering Marketing series that I did, which was based on the one-page marketing plan, which I did, I think it was in 2023. So that's an example of what's going on inside the lab. All right, what else? We have events. We have events coming up. So you can see the events inside the lab either monthly or by agenda. And this week we've got co-working on Monday and open networking on Wednesday. And then next week we have co-working on Monday, because co-working is every Monday. And then we have our book club where we will be talking about The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown on Thursday. And our book discussions are led by Di Hilstead. So that's what's coming up over the next 2 weeks in events. Also, by popular demand, I have brought back the marketing toolbox. I've renamed it the Grateful Marketer's Toolbox, and I did make some tweaks to it. And so these are some of the tools that I have used or using or want to use or think are groovy. There are probably still some in here that are dead links because this marketing toolbox was created quite a while ago. But I'll be going through it and updating it. This is available to anybody. If you'd like to check it out, I will put the link in the show notes below. But if the easiest way to get to it is from inside the lab. So that link inside the lab is right here, toolbox. And the podcast coming up this week is a conversation with Julie Marty Pearson. This drops on Tuesday, and we are talking about podcasting, whether or not you should start a podcast in 2026. And Julie and I have much different opinions, but not really. Okay, and then two things I'm experimenting with. Now, the lab, let's go back to the lab. I want to show you this. The Gratitude Lab is about experimenting, iterating, and growing your business. And it's for Gen X women solopreneurs. All right, so experimenting. I am experimenting with two things for the next 30 days. One of them is vidIQ, which is an AI software that helps you grow your YouTube channel. I have 3 YouTube channels, but two of the YouTube channels that are that you would pay attention to. And then I have the Sci-Fi Book Pod channel, which is my science fiction podcast. My Kandas Rodarte YouTube channel, which I haven't posted a video to in over 6 months, maybe even longer, grows and has more views than my podcast channel, which my podcast channel I pay attention to a lot. I upload weekly. I'm constantly tweaking. I'm looking at it all the time. And it does not grow nearly as quickly as the channel that I never touch. So I'm going to use vidIQ for the next month to figure out why that is. So this is vidIQ. All right, and in 30 days, I'll let you know how it worked out. And then my other experiment is I listened to a podcast about podcast growth, and the guest said that the 2 ways that she grows her show, and her show is about podcasting, so I'm not sure. My show is not about podcasting. My show is for Gen X women solopreneurs who've had something crappy happen to them. It's a business education show, right? So I'm not sure if it's going to work for me, but she said that she gets the most engagement and the most signups to her mailing list from Threads. So I had a Threads account that I created. I have a whopping 20 followers. And so last night I re-engaged with Threads, and I spent like an hour going through it and reading and commenting on posts. Discovered that today is Raptor Day, which I thought was hilarious. So I'm down for that. Anyway, for the next 30 days, I'm going to try engaging in Threads and see if that helps my podcast growth. So those are the 2 experiments I'm doing, vidIQ, Threads. I think I've talked enough at this point. All right, that's what's going on for the week of March 22nd, 2026. Stay groovy, my friends.